So in this video, we're going to construct a circumscribed circle. Circumscribed circle around a triangle. And the steps in doing that are, we're going to start by drawing perpendicular bisectors to two sides of the triangle. Second, we are going to label the intersection of these two perpendicular bisectors and use this intersection point as the center of the circumcircle. Okay, the circle that will be drawn around the triangle. And we're going to measure the radius of the circle by the distance to any convenient vertex. Okay, so these are the steps, and basically I'm going to go one by one. I'll describe the steps as I do them, and I hope you have the opportunity to follow along with your compass and your ruler or straight edge. So the first thing is I got to choose two sides that I'm going to construct a perpendicular bisector for. And I'm going to pick the two longest sides. Those tend to be the easier ones. So I've got this compass. This compass sometimes gives me a little trouble, but I'm going to go ahead, and most of what I'm doing has been done before. You kind of remember, I think, how to do this. I'm going to try to film this on a slant so you can kind of see from an angle what's happening. Okay, good. I want to make sure that my compass is opened a little bit more than halfway. I want it to be a little bit past the midpoint. Notice I'm putting the sharp end of the compass on one of the vertices. I'm going to go ahead and draw an arc. Okay, good. And now without changing the width of the compass, I'm going to place the sharp end on another vertex on the other side of the line segment. I'm going to draw myself another arc. And I especially want to see where the two arcs intersect. Okay, good. So now I've got my intersection points. It's pretty light, but I think you can see it on the video. One is over here, and one is over here. And now I'm going to connect these two to draw my first perpendicular bisector. And looking around for, well, I'll use this color pen. I'll use a green pen for this one. I'm going to connect these two dots. And I'm going to make this bisector rather long, because I don't exactly know where it's supposed to go, okay? I just know that it's got to intersect another perpendicular bisector, but I don't know where the intersection is going to take place. And this looks pretty good, right? This looks sort of like the bisector of this line in perpendicular. Next, I'm going to go to this line over here with this end and this end. So I'm going to take my compass one more time, and I'm going to place the sharp point. Try to do it again on an angle. I'm going to place the sharp point at this vertex here. Okay, and I'm going to have to make it a little bit wider for this particular side because I want to make sure I'm past the midpoint. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my arc. Okay, good. Keeping the exact same distance, I'm switching to the other end point. I'm going to dig my my sharp edge in there, and I'm going to see where this intersects this side and this side of the arc. Okay, good. So now I've got my two intersection points here. I've got one up here. I've got one down here. And this is going to be the perpendicular bisector of that second line. So let me go ahead and draw that in green as well. Let me connect my dots and make this nice and long. Okay, so now I've got my intersection point right here where the two lines meet. I'll make myself a point. I'll just label it as such. I'll know that that is my center point. Okay, now notice it's outside the triangle. Is that a problem? No. Okay, for some triangles, the center of the circumcircle is going to be outside of the triangle. That's especially going to be true when one of the angles is obtuse, like this one is. Okay, so the very last step said, measure the radius of the circle by the distance to any convenient vertex. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to place the sharp point of my compass on this label point, and it's very convenient to pick this. This is the closest vertex. So let me try to get this on an angle so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I am adjusting the width so that it will exactly reach that vertex, and then very lightly so that my compass doesn't slip, I'm going to sweep. It's slipping already. I'm going to try to sweep around and draw a circle. Draw the entire circle. Oops, it slipped a little bit there, but I think you're getting the idea that we have a pretty good circle. Not 100%, it just sort of misses one of the points, but it gets the other point. So this is the circumcircle. I will sort of dot it in for you in case you don't see it very well. Okay, it follows all along here, down to here, down around to here. Okay, and it traces the circle that touches each of the vertices. It touches the vertex here, over here, or it's just a tiny bit off, and over here where it's perfectly on target. And it is the circle that can be drawn around the triangle. Okay, so to recap again, we drew one perpendicular bisector to this side, we drew one perpendicular bisector to this side, the two perpendicular bisectors intersected at the center of the circle, we adjusted the width so it was as wide as from here to here. We could have used this point too, or we could have used this point too, and then once we had the center and the width, we just drew a circle.